Okay, I apologize for that. Now I'm going to try to stay calm here the rest of the way. Not going to talk about Notre Dame anymore and just going to skip on to the next game. I got a little aggravated there and had to turn the phone off because I got irritated talking about Notre Dame. Anyway, Baylor at Texas. Baylor should win this game without a problem. Texas is a disaster. And the Big 12 was a two-man race, Baylor and Oklahoma. No other game in the Big 12 even matters this year other than that game, so no point spending much time talking about that one. Texas A&M at Mississippi State. This is one of the best games of the weekend here. Mississippi State had a big win at LSU a couple of weeks ago. Texas A&M's already beat South Carolina and Arkansas. This is going to be a tough game. I think Texas A&M wins it, but it's going to be a good game here. And everybody that keeps calling me a conference homer, if that's intended as an insult, I don't take it that way. So, whatever you want to, calling me that doesn't do anything, doesn't bother me. But this is what I mean when I talk about, look at Oklahoma's schedule or Oregon or Florida State or anybody, whoever, and then look at the schedule from a team from the SEC West in particular, but any SEC team really. Now anybody in the country can beat Texas A&M or Arkansas or Georgia or Tennessee or Alabama or Auburn or any of these teams. Can go ahead and beat these teams, any given Saturday, that whole thing. But can you turn around after you beat Texas A&M and then beat Mississippi State and then beat Alabama and then beat Auburn and then beat Georgia and then beat Carolina and then beat the Mississippi? No, you can't. And that's what makes it so hard. It's not that any one team in the SEC can't get beaten. It's that playing all these teams week after week after week after week, it's murderer's row. The West this year is just ridiculous. And that's why I think the winner of this game is going to go a long way towards the SEC title. I've got it narrowed down to 3 teams in my mind: A&M, Alabama, and Auburn. I think all 3 of those teams are going to have a loss. So whichever one of those teams can beat all the other teams without taking a loss, I think is going to have the best chance to win the West. So I look for A&M to start that this week with a win over Mississippi State, but it will be a good game. Auburn and LSU, another good one. LSU's backed into a corner after they took that loss to Mississippi State. So Auburn's coming in looking to pretty much end LSU's season. This will be a good one here. LSU has switched quarterbacks. I can't remember the guy's name, a freshman. He looked pretty good in their last game. So I'm calling the upset in this one. I'm going to take LSU to beat Auburn in a close one. Oklahoma at TCU. Already said this game doesn't matter. No game in the Big 12 matters other than Oklahoma and Baylor, so there's no point in wasting any time on the Big 12. It's watered down. Alabama at Ole Miss. Ole Miss fired up about this game, saying it's the biggest game there ever, some people are saying. Of course, they've been trying forever to get game day to come there to the Grove, and they're finally coming, so the crowd is going to be insane for this game, I'm sure. I don't normally like to copy things that other people say in their videos, but I'm going to make an exception in this case because I think it's a really valid point and something that's good, that is going to have an impact on this game. But in Law Tide's video, he mentions a lot of things. Go check it out. But one thing in particular that he mentioned, Alabama plays in these games all the time, and you can't underestimate that. They've played in several national title games, SEC championship games. Every road game that Alabama plays is the other team's biggest game of the year, whether it's Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M. Anywhere Alabama goes is a big game, period. And while I think Ole Miss is vastly improved, I just don't think they're ready for the spotlight right now. And for that reason alone, I think Alabama wins this game. But this is going to be a hell of a game for sure. And probably going to be one of the best game day atmospheres you'll see all year. But I think Alabama gets it done. and we have to wait at least another week before the Fighting Lane Kiffins take their first loss, which will happen, and it will be Lane Kiffin's fault. I've been telling you this for 6 months, and I'm not going to change my mind now. The Lane Kiffins will lose a couple of games this year, and when they do, it will be Lane Kiffin's fault. Oregon at Arizona. Now, this game is tonight, and this is the type of game that seems like Oregon, whenever Oregon loses, which is inevitable, because it happens every year, it happens in one of two ways. It either happens in a game like tonight, where they're playing an unranked team on a Thursday night at 10 or 11 o'clock at night when no one's watching, and then you all wake up the next morning and you say, oh, Oregon took their yearly loss in a game they weren't supposed to yesterday. Or they lose to a tough team like Stanford, one of the, that's able to slow them down and play good defense and things like that. So this is a game you'll want to keep an eye on tonight. It should be pretty high scoring. Both these teams are averaging about 40, 50 points a game. But it's at Oregon, so if I was going to bet on this game, I'd have to take Oregon to win for sure. They're a huge favorite in this game. But don't be shocked if you wake up tomorrow morning and hear that Oregon lost, because this is one of those games they tend to lose from year to year. So, yeah, there's that. Hold on, I'm looking here. That's pretty much it. A few other decent games worth watching here and there, but some really good ones this weekend, so I hope everybody's off on Saturday. And if you're not going to your favorite team's game, find you a comfortable spot in the living room, watch these games on Saturday. It's going to be an amazing day of games. I think Georgia scores 50 points this weekend on Vanderbilt. Of course, we're going to give up some points. Now, Gator Boo made a comment. If it wasn't you, Gator, I apologize. I think it was you, though. Leading into the Tennessee game, somebody had put in the comment section of one of my videos that Georgia was going to win something to 23. I don't remember what they said Georgia was going to have, and they said Tennessee was going to have 23. And Gator Boo said something to the effect of, Georgia only giving up 23 points, quit drinking, or something along those lines. Basically saying that there's no way Georgia can give up less than 23 points. So, Gator Boo, for that reason alone, Uncle Lou's prediction for this game, 52 to 22. That's right, Georgia 52, Vandy 22, which won't even cover the spread. The spread on this game is about 32 or 33 points, depending where you look. And if your bookie likes you or not, I don't know. That's between you and your bookie and how much money you owe him. But anyway, great weekend of games. You guys be sure and check it out. And until next time, good morning!